guys, so we're going to pick up where we left off on the last assignment after having our surface in and drawing our alignments. So today we're going to be focusing on profile views and alignment offsets. So we're going to get into profile views first, and I can show you that rather quickly here. So what you want to do is you want to go to your Create Design tab and go to Profile and Create Surface Profile. And what we want to do is we want to select one of the alignments that we had drawn before. First we're going to select the alignment north-south as we drew in the last assignment 2. And just make sure I have ground surface selected and hit Add. And now it's adding this profile view down here. This is our profile list. We're adding this one over here. And we're going to hit Draw on Profile View. So what we want to do now is name the profile view. So we will just do profile of alignment north-south. Okay. And what we want to make sure that we have going on over here is we want to make sure that we have profile view selected. And we'll hit next over here. What I'm showing you over here, this is automatic. It's automatically detecting how long we want our profile view to extend. But let's say we only want to look at a certain part of our alignment. We can specify the range of the alignment that we have drawn. Here we want to show the whole thing, so we'll just go to automatic. It automatically goes to how long that alignment is. And then the height as well. It's essentially the same sort of thing. We can change what the height ranges are for this profile view. We can specify, or we can just make it automatic. And we're going to stick with automatic for this. And we can just keep on hitting next. And then we'll hit Create Profile View. And now it's saying select Profile View Origin. I'm just going to select right here, and I click, and it shows up. So now we're looking at our profile view of our north-south alignment. So this is starting from down here, actually. So it's running south to north the way I drew it. You can see station 0. So essentially you can tell these contours, the height of this location, it's kind of like a hill over here, so it increases. And as we crest over that hill and start to go down, you can see what this looks like in this profile view. So this is rather handy to have. So let's do that again, and let's do it for the east to west alignment. Select ground surface, add, and draw on profile view. Let's rename this one east to west. Make sure profile view is on. And we're going to keep everything the same, so we can just hit Create in Profile View. And I'm just going to select over here. And now I have my east to west profile, so north to south, east to west. As you can tell over here, you see that funny little spike. It's not a smooth going alignment in the profile view. You can tell that's probably happening right over here, where our height changes for a little blip. You can see it does it twice, so there's a cut and then a cut, so it's probably right there, and then this cut over here as well as that right there. So that's why we're getting it looking like that. You can move these around, so when you select it, you see that there is a node that we can grab. So I'm actually going to move this over here. All right. So now we have our north-south and east-to-west alignments. Next, what I want you guys to do is start drawing some offsets for these alignments. So what I want you to do, you can kind of zoom in a little bit over here, is go to Alignment, and we want to create an offset alignment. And let's select the east to west first. Why not? So a few things pop up. What we want to do is we want to name this offset. So let's call this offset alignment east west. Okay, and it's going to go from start to end. We can change that if we want, but we're going to do it for the entirety of this lane. But you could do it however you want. I'm going to do it this way. You can choose the number of offsets on either side of the alignment as well. For this exercise, let's do 0 offsets on the left and 1 on the right. So what we're going to do up here also is we're going to name this offset. So offset alignment east-west, and let's call it, actually let's add it over here. So it's the right offset for alignment east to west. So we have it on the right, and let's make it 15 feet off of the alignment that we have over there. We want to make sure that our alignment style is offset, and our labels, we could do major and minor over here, the same thing that we did for the alignment that's over there as well. And I'm going to hit OK. And now we have an alignment. So you can see it matches up all of these points. It's showing a similar distance, but as it is on a curve, it's going to be a little bit different length than the original. So now we have a right offset. So we're going to do one more. So I want you guys to do one for the east-west and one for the north-south. So let's do that again. So create offset alignment, and we're going to do it for the north to south. So let's do it on the left side. So let's call this left, and let's change this to north-south. So we want to change this to 0 because we don't want any offsets on the right, but we do want one on the left. And let's make this one, I don't know, 20. So it'll be a little bit more. And major minor, okay. As you can see, it looks like it's a little bit farther away from this than the other one. That's because this is 10 feet offset and this is 15. So what we can do now, and what I want you guys to do for the Civil 3D Assignment 3 for Part 1 is to do the profile view again, but for the offsets. So we're going to create a surface profile, and now we can actually select north, south, or east, or west. So we're going to do the left offset for north to south. Over there, we're going to select ground surface, hit add, draw on profile view, and let's make sure that this says north to south, and then profile of left offset alignment north to south, profile view, create in profile, and I'm just going to select down here. So now we have that profile view as well, and it looks similar, but it's obviously going to be a little bit different than the one over here because the offset runs and hits contour lines at different points than what your center line offset does. So this is really important when you're essentially designing anything. In this case, this looks more like roads. This is really important to understand how your land changes when you're trying to put in any sort of features at the site, or you're trying to plan anything. This is really helpful. So we're going to do one more. So create the surface profile, and let's do the east to west, ground surface, add, draw on profile view. We're going to do profile of the right offset alignment of the east to west. Profile view, create profile, and I'll just select here. So you can see yet again it's going to be similar but not exactly the same as I had just described before. So that is everything I want you guys to do for Assignment 3 Part 1. Make sure that when you submit this, you guys are doing it in the map as I have asked previously, like you did for your Assignment 1 and 2. So there are a couple of things I want to mention real quick before we get going on to Part 2, and it's that I want you guys in this assignment to submit 2 papers for Part 1, or 2 plots for Part 1, one with your north-south alignment profiles and east-west profile, and then the other one I want it to be the same exact way, but with your offset alignments as well, or instead of these two here. The reason being that if you have all of that information in the same drawing, it looks a little bit messy and it's hard to read. So I think that this will be the best way to submit it. So that's two plots, two maps, just like this that I have over here that you're going to submit for just part 1. So real quick, to fix the way that looks, these dashed lines, what you can do is you can actually, well, first you need to get into your view. So you double click in the space, and now I'm going to select this line and go to home, and it's telling me that this is layer C road profile. So I'm going to go to my layer properties, and when you find it, you're going to notice that it says dashed next to it. So it's actually not broken up, it's that this line is dashed from the get-go. So if I go to model real quick and I zoom in, you can tell this is actually a dashed line. It doesn't look like it when you throw it in there in the first place, but in reality it is. So going back, selecting that, doing the same thing that I just did before, what we can do is we can change that so it doesn't look like that. So let's go pro, and it says dashed. I'm going to just click that once, and I'm going to hit continuous and select OK. And now that looks good. So let's say you're zoomed in like I am, and you can't get out of this viewport. See, I can get out of it over here and zoom out, but like let's say that you were like all the way zoomed in to this drawing and you were in this viewport. Now when I want to get out, well, you can see it's only scaling what I was doing before, and you don't want that. So I'm going to hit Control Z there. So what you want in order to get out of the drawing is to just go down to model over here, and now it's putting me in paper space, and now I can zoom out without zooming out in that viewport. That's pretty helpful. Sometimes you can get stuck in there, and if you don't know how to get out, it could be really frustrating. So I'm going to zoom to the extents here. Another thing, another thing I want you guys to do here is also change some of this text. You can tell this text looks like it's really out of hand. Looks like it's kind of all over the place, a little bit too large. It's hard to figure out where exactly, like what line is 508, what line is 504. That's kind of hard to figure out. So double click in this space again. You're going to select your profile here, and what you can do is you can right click and you're going to do edit profile view style and go to your vertical axes, which is what we're looking at over here. So you can do it for both the left and the right, and that's what I want you guys to do. So go to your text height, and like let's change this to like 0.08. And let's do that again. 0.08. Apply. Okay. Alright, so now it's a little bit smaller. Maybe that's a little bit too small. So let's go to just 1. And 1. Alright. And apply. Okay, so that's a little bit better. And then after that, what you also want to do is go to your X offset. So this is how far away it is from the line. So this is in inches. So let's change this to 0.1. And let's change this to 0.05. So for the right, negative 0.1, remember, because it's on the inside now, so it means like negative, whereas this over here was positive. And 0.05, and apply, enter. Now it's looking like, you know, we can move these around so we can see exactly what line means what. So now I know that 508 is actually the top of this profile, 504 is this line over here, whereas when they're kind of spaced away like that, it's really hard to read. So I want you guys to do that as well, so that in this drawing it's actually legible. So yeah, that's how you can quickly change some of those items in this layout.